Gates Adams here on behalf of Apex Trader Funding, and I am back again with Kimheap. Now, I've had the opportunity to conduct a few interviews over the course of the last, gosh, I don't even know how long ago we did our first interview, but for me, one of the really gratifying pieces of parts of this job, of this role that I play, is to see the growth and development. And I remember when I first interviewed you and you got your first payout, like there was just this level of excitement. It's like I got paid out, like I can't believe it. It was just, there was that excitement. And now fast forward, not only are you continuing to be a consistent and successfully profitable trader, but you're now guiding other traders, which we've actually had a chance to talk about before. You've developed a curriculum and now even looking at some group coaching. And so I'm going to preface this with, we're going to talk about some insights that you have learned from being a successful trader, but we want to, of course, address the fact that this is not to be considered as financial advice. Nobody here is a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only and to share your experience. So Kim, what's been going on? How has everything been going over the course of the last few months since we last spoke?
So comparing the result the last 3 months, I have seen myself really kind of go back and forth, to be honest with you.
Sure.
But I did slow down back in beginning of August because the market structure is very volatile,
right,
as you see it for NQ movements. It should once swing up about 300 points. It could drop back down another 300 points. So my point is, you need to create your own method and follow your strategy. You need to set your the zone that we call, like, if you read the book like Trading in the Zone, that book is a great trading psychology. So you will map your zone when you want to get into the market, because we know that smart money or market maker, they actually try to manipulating the price. They have to move the price for them to make profits because they don't want to drop all at points in one time. So if we want to get into the boat, we need to understand how do they move the markets.
Right.
So I have keep my psychology in check because the psychology is a big role in the game. You need to pick your zone. Don't let your emotion go up. If you miss out the trade, accept it, pick your another zone, sit and wait. Again, you keep your chin up in the game. You have your clear strategy. You will be survive in these markets. It's very scary, to be honest with you, as a trader for almost 7 years. Like this, the first experience that I have to face in ups and downs movement for the past 3 months.
Well, and you bring up a really good point, because let's face it, it's almost October of 2024. We just had a big Fed rate cut that is, look, there's a lot of speculation on both sides of that. We are a little over a month away from elections. We are, at least on the NQ and the ES, on the main indices, we are at or dancing around all-time highs. So there is a lot going on in the market that's out of the ordinary. You know, as somebody who's taken the time to learn and develop a strategy that has been successful for you, what have you been doing personally to manage your trades and manage your risk so that wild volatility or those unexpected moves don't necessarily have a negative impact on your overall results?
I do a lot of risk management adjustment if I used to trade NQ for like 4 contracts per entry, I probably trim down to 1 contract or 2 the most. It depends on the setup. Or some days I back to trade a micro, E, mini, NQ. It keep my emotion in check. And a big move of NQ it is gonna shock me, but for E mini, it's actually calm me down. So again, I size down my positions, my contract size, and I downgrade from NQ to micro, E mini, NQ.
That sizing is such a big issue, and I've talked about this publicly, where I've experienced the psychological difference when you just up your position size and all of a sudden things can go haywire just because you're not used to seeing those types of numbers. Now, my solution to that turned out to be pretty effective, was trading multiple accounts and using a copier, because then I don't see that big number. And each account kind of has that minimal move. And so, yeah, I'm trading micros as well on micro, NQ, MNQ, and MES. And that limited position size, but multiplied over multiple accounts, I don't know, for me has really helped deal with the psychological challenge of scaling up my size, or in markets like this, scaling down my size to a much more comfortable level. Have you experienced anything like this in terms of spreading your risk across multiple accounts, or do you primarily work off of a main big account?
Your strategy is perfect fit what I'm doing right now. Is I used to do copy trade minimum 5 to 10, 15 accounts each time, but now I have to adapt to the market. I don't use copy trade. I spread out my entry for individual accounts, as you mentioned. I place my order 4 or 5 accounts each time, but on a different entries. So I protect my risk by have my zone on. So if the market go up, I'm go up with the market. If the market go down, I'm coming down with the market, but in a different accounts. So when you use that strategy, is protect your risk and your capital and take the pressure off from like the big windfalls.
Right.
As you mentioned, if I do copy trade, one day I blow down my accounts because I was so shocked that when the price moves too fast, the platforms it's become an air. It didn't take me out. So I was shocked. I don't know what to do. When I tried to close, it didn't close me. And then right they hit my profit, it didn't take me out. So it messed up my trailing drawdown and my cash value in each account. So that was a bad experience, and also it's a great teacher as well.
Well, and that's, of course, specifically when it comes to trading, but the best teacher is, in fact, experience. Now, the experience can only teach you once you get to the point where you're functioning in a consistent way. So with the level of discipline where your trades are relatively speaking the same or within the confines of whatever your rules are. Once you develop that, really that experience is going to be the best teacher. The markets aren't always going to be just off of a Fed rate cut, not just in advance of an election. So this is a temporary market structure that we're seeing right now. But as you have been trading over the course of the last few months, and with the sort of dynamics that have been at play, what do you think the experience in this market would do for you once we get back to sort of a more normal kind of calm market structure like we're more used to seeing?
To be honest with you, when the markets become normal, I will be just like a piece of cake for me when the market is quiet, because I see my zone clear.
Right.
Because we went through in the hard work experience. When the market calm, it's gonna be like easy for me to pass my eval to PAs. Like I'm gonna be a better trader.
Well, and I think that's the equivalent of exercising at high altitude. You condition your body under difficult conditions, and then when you're at sea level, it's like super easy. A lot of that equates to this moment in time where we are dealing with things that are not the norm, and being able to manage not just your trades and your strategies and your risk, but manage yourself will ultimately lead to stronger performances under normal conditions long term. It's the whole point. We stress our bodies, we stress our minds, we stress our disciplines to the point where they're stronger. That's the only way to increase the effectiveness of these types of things. I love the insight that you're giving, and I can't wait to see how everything continues to progress as, again, not only do you continue to succeed as a trader, but as a coach, as a mentor, and really building a community of traders. And I think that's one of the things that I think is missing for a lot of traders. Building that community really does, I think, help a lot of traders to overcome and deal with the tougher times and really just be energized and motivated by the wins.
I love it. I just want to add more things about discipline in trading. A lot of people, they will say, oh my God, I create my, I want to be disciplined. I create my own rules. And I say, well, a lot of people, they focus that, oh, I need to work on my discipline. But how do you work on with your discipline? I want them to build your own habit of trading first. And then the discipline, the rules, it will follow just like if you follow your process, the profit will follow. It's just the same concept. So if you have a bad habit of trading, like you sit in your computer, you have 5 monitor or 2 or 1, but if you don't give yourself time to analyze the price, pick your zone, create your habit first. You have to program your brain how to set your work. So don't just like, okay, I have my rule, I have my discipline. How come it doesn't work when my emotion come in? Because you know why? because the habit is always stuck with your subconscious mind. Trust me, if you build your habits, your discipline, your rules, your profit will come along.
That's phenomenal. The skill of trading goes much, much further and deeper than simply knowing when to get in and when to get out. Thank you so much for sharing continued insight with us. No wonder you have a group of happy students that are continuing to grow themselves. I appreciate you sharing this time with us and sharing some of your insight and wisdom that has not only brought you success, but helped others along the way as well. So I really appreciate it. I look forward to catching up here in another few months and seeing how everything's coming along then.
Absolutely. I'll be happy to.
Perfect. We'll talk to you soon, Kim. Thanks so much.
Okay. Thank you. You have a wonderful day.